felt like as you get older, you're becoming invisible? You're not alone. One study found that 75% of women 45 and older felt ignored when they walked into a crowded room. But here's the truth. Your story isn't ending, it's evolving. And in this episode, we'll explore how to step boldly into your personal power and make your next chapter the most confident and authentic one yet. I'm Angela. Welcome to Rollerset to Mindset. We have an incredible episode lineup for you. But before we dive in, I got a pop question for you. And my pop question is this. When did you notice that you started to lose confidence in what you bring to the table? If that is you, I want you to listen up, grab paper and pencil. We're going to take some notes and we're going to get to the bottom of this. What we're going to do is we are going to discuss 4 key points that I think will help with this confidence thing for women 50 and older once and for all. The first thing I want, and we're going to just dive in. The first point I want to make is I want to encourage you to own your own story and your strength. Here is the thing. I think sometimes we forget that there is power in our own life story. When you think about the decades of experiences that you have had over the years and how these experiences have equipped you with wisdom, with skills, and with resilience, how could you not claim the power that you have within you? And how when you recognize this power, that recognition builds your confidence to handle whatever it is you set out to do or what comes your way. I think what we fail to notice about ourselves is that because we don't write things down, all the milestones and all the things we have accomplished, we don't see the power in them. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to take a moment and we're going to do a little writing exercise. I want you to write down life milestones and lessons that you have learned so that you can visibly see your strengths and the accomplishment of things that you have experienced over time. And I think that when you do that, you can begin to own your story and see the power in your story. And what society sometimes may call or consider getting older, we can flip that and we could look at it as simply gaining power. That's right. We have earned the right to call it power, not necessarily getting older, and some people even want to say getting old. Yes, you could age chronologically, but your mindset, your belief in yourself, your ability to start fresh, your ability to create a next chapter, that ability still exists. And that is what I want you to own. So when you think about your story, it allows you to see your strength and the things, the positive things, the powerful things that you are made of. If you agree with me, I want you to say agree in the chat. Write it down that you agree that your story has power. The second key point I want to talk about is this idea of you walking into a room and feeling invisible. Well, this is how we're going to look at that. If that is you, I want you to consider going from feeling invisible to feeling influential. So let's talk about this invisibility thing that women sometimes feel after 50. I call it, you know, entering that half time of your life and going into the third quarter, that third quarter being 50 to 75. And for some of us, it could be disheartening. For some of us, it can allow us to start questioning who we are and what we have to contribute. But we're going to dismantle that thing in this episode right here. So I want you to share ways in the comment that you can reclaim your influence and your presence. For example, I would want to encourage you. One way that you can do it is to speak up about your ideas or your needs, whether it's at work, whether it's in your community, whether it's in your church, whether it's in your family or any family decisions that have to be made. I want you to take the lead on things, especially things that you feel compassionate about and passionate about. Because here's the thing, when you actively engage in things that you are passionate about and making decisions and asserting yourself, where your input not only is needed, but it's valuable, what you begin to do is demonstrate at this stage of your life that you can operate from a standpoint of leadership, and you can also have impact. So in the comment, write one or two ways in which you can take that feeling of feeling invisible to feeling influential. And if you have pen and paper, go ahead and write that down as well. Another key area that can make a difference is when you begin to set boundaries and prioritize yourself. Now, I know for some of us, that's a struggle. I know that used to be a struggle for me, setting boundaries, because I owned a salon and I was a hairstylist for 35 plus years. And when I tell you my clients had full access to me, they had full access. But here's the thing, I gave them that access. I gave them all of that access to me, regardless of when they wanted their appointment, whether they had to cancel and reschedule, whether I had to come in on days that I would normally take off. I gave them full access to me. Why? Because I loved what I did. I loved my clients. It was like a family environment for us. And so over the years, I no longer was a priority to myself. What my clients needed became my priority. But when you begin to step into your power in the third quarter of your life, if it's taken you that long, that's okay. But when you begin to realize that it is time to step into your power, a part of that means living on your own terms. And what I want you to do is I want you to understand that that is what you deserve. If you've spent the first quarter, the second quarter, and now you find yourself in the halftime of your life, entering that third quarter at 50, you have earned the right to live on your own terms. And what I have found from just over the years of working with women is that a lot of us high achieving women, we often spend years meeting others' expectations. And so what I want to encourage you to do is understand that now is the time for you to set boundaries and pursue some of the things that you love, that truly lights you up. And when you've been in a situation where you've forgotten what even lights you up, you got to take some time and sit with yourself. It's like getting to know yourself all over again. I want you to take advantage of this time in your life. I want you to understand that it's okay to say no without guilt. And it's okay to say yes to the opportunities and the things that you've been pondering over the years, but didn't have the time, nor the energy, nor did you set the boundaries to make it happen. This is your time. So begin to understand your personal values. Take time to understand that, because when you understand that, you understand yourself and you build that self-confidence that is needed for you to go forward and go forth and create impact in ways that you want to create it. So start to become familiar with what lights you up. Start to become familiar with your desires. It could be, maybe you want to start a new business at 55, 60, 65. Maybe you want to go back to school. Maybe you want to start acting. Maybe you want to write a book, whatever it may be. Begin to entertain that possibility. Because guess what? When you set boundaries and you begin to prioritize yourself and you connect to that part of you, your desires, guess what? The confidence begin to grow. It may take time, but with each step, you build on that confidence and you begin to trust your judgment. You begin to trust yourself, and that transfers into how other people see you, your children, your spouse, your community. Do you get what I'm saying? Some things take time, but when you take the time, you make it happen. And those very small steps create big things. I often say that big things have small beginnings. So start small and build big. Start small and build big. And the fourth thing I want to talk to you about is this. I want you to begin to embrace new challenges. Did you hear me? Embrace new challenges. Because when you embrace new challenges, guess what you do? You slowly but surely move yourself out of your comfort zone. And that is the thing that keeps so many of us stuck. We begin to get comfortable and we begin to believe the labels that have been placed on us. But this is what I want you to consider. You being in halftime, you entering third quarter, whether you're in your 50s, your 60s, or your 70s, I want you to look at the year in which you are in. Look at it as a launch pad. Look at it as a springboard. That's what I had to do. Leaving out of the salon, retiring as a hairstylist and getting licensed as a transformation life coach and embracing the fact that I had this natural gift of inspiring women and encouraging them to reset their mindset. Guess what? I'm gonna embrace the challenge. I'm embracing the challenge. And I am here on this episode encouraging you to embrace the challenges, the new challenges for yourself. For yourself. Try something new. Learn a new skill. Change career. Retire from one and pick up another. Retiring doesn't mean that you go sit in your chair and just watch the world go by. No. Retiring, I got a new definition for retiring, and that is transitioning, where you lay something down and you begin to pick something up. You have your health, you have your strength, you are clothed in your right mind, you got your money. Use all of that. Use all of that as leverage, as a springboard, as a launch pad into your next chapter. So when you begin to do that and think on those terms, baby, that's a confidence booster. It gives you superpower. It gives you superpower to go on and see what the end brings. You, like I said, you've got to step outside of your comfort zone. That's how you discover new things about you. That's how you build your personal power. And when you do that, guess what happens? You step, it feels a little bit uncomfortable. You step a little bit more, it begins to feel less uncomfortable. And before you know it, you're in a whole new comfort zone. And I created this channel, this podcast, to encourage you along the way. And if you're still with me, that lets me know that you like what I am saying. You like what you are hearing. And if you like it, let me know by clicking that like button. And the fact is, as women, when we like a thing, we want to share it. So I want to encourage you to hit that share button and share this episode with someone who is right where you are. Your girlfriend, your cousin, your sister, your church member. Share it out so that we can not just empower ourselves, but that we get to empower others. And the last thing I want you to do is subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I have found that from checking my analytics that there are people who's listening to my podcast, who's watching my podcast on the YouTube channel, but they're not subscribed. And you know what that does? That prevents my episodes from reaching more women who need to hear this. So let's begin to be, as women, as third quarter women, as half-timers, let's begin to be our sister's keeper and share this information out. And I promise when you do that, that's going to not just impact someone else's life, but it's going to impact your life as well. So let's wrap it up. Let's bring this together. There are 4 key points that we discuss. The first one is the power that you gain from owning your own story and the strength that you gain from owning your own life story. That alone is sufficient to help you move into your next life chapter. The second point is when you decide that you're going to go from feeling invisible. I get that. From feeling invisible sometimes. I want you to go from feeling invisible to remember who you are. Remember who you are and become influential. You, yes, you have the power to do that. And the third key that we discussed was set boundaries for yourself and prioritize yourself, and just watch and see how that changes everything. It gives you a different pep in your step. It gives you a different swag. You enter a space differently. You project energetically a whole different language. People begin to see you and read you differently, simply because you set boundaries for yourself and you also prioritize yourself and your opinion. And the fourth thing is to embrace new challenges. Because when you embrace new challenges, guess what you do? You begin to set yourself up to feeling brand new. You know how you feel when you buy a new outfit or a new pair of shoes or a new pair of earrings or new lipstick? You feel brand new. So go ahead and embrace new challenges. Make a decision that because you are in halftime or entering into your third quarter, baby, that alone is enough to build confidence, to exude confidence. You got that? And I'm going to be rooting for you. And anytime you need a dose of it, you just pull up my channel, Angela B. Fuller, or you go to Rollerset to Mindset Podcast, and I got you. I will have your back. And if you need more, I'm going to put the link in the show notes. I have a free community, a private community that you can become a part of for free, for free. And in this community, listen, you can view yourself as one of the founding members. As one of the founding members, you get to guide and decide how this membership flows. You get to tell me what you want more of. You get to tell me what's working for you and what's not working for you. You get to sit amongst women who are rooting for you and who's looking for you to encourage them. So go ahead and check out the link, Fuller Life Chapter Hub, where we see you with all of the confidence that you have. Not what you had, not what you're going to get, but confidence that you have. I'll talk with you soon, okay? Bye. Mwah.